Hello, and thanks for watching this PowerPoint presentation, which will give you an introduction to the IDS 290 Interdisciplinary Communication course. In this presentation, you will get an overview of the units, assignments, policies, and expectations for the course. This presentation will not go over all of the information in the syllabus, so for a complete explanation of all course policies and expectations, be sure to read and review the syllabus closely. Before we get into specifics about the course, let's talk about what I expect from students when I teach, and it's pretty straightforward. I want students who work hard and follow directions well, and who are honest with me. All of this adds up to caring about your work. And if you can do all of that, you'll have a much better chance of success in this course. And believe me when I say that I can almost always tell the difference between a student who is truly working hard and caring about their work versus one who is coming up with a lot of excuses for why they can't get the work done. I also want students to communicate well with me. This means asking questions if you have them, coming to my office if you're confused about anything, and reading and responding if necessary to any messages that I send out by email or post in the news forum on Moodle. Finally, I insist on an atmosphere of mutual respect in this course. I think it's pretty clear what that means, but for example, I'm referring to the ways you communicate with me and with one another. I'm also talking about your respect for the course itself and for the material in the course. It's important to me that you don't just look at this class as another obstacle between you and a degree, but as an opportunity to learn some important skills that will last you throughout your college career and beyond. Communication is one of the most vital skills, maybe the most vital, in school and in the majority of professions. So this course is about honing those important skills. And I hope you'll all see that what you learn here can truly serve you well for many years to come. It's also important to me that you respect the online learning environment and understand that online courses aren't designed as a way to make a course easier or less work. Let's do a little comparison of the work required in an online course versus the work required in a traditional classroom course. A course like that usually meets 3 times a week for at least 14 weeks. That's about 42 hours of time in the classroom. A rule of thumb for college courses has always been that you should spend 2 hours outside of class for every hour in class. That means 84 hours outside of class. Add those together and you come up with a 126-hour commitment for a traditional class. As you will see on this screen, the estimated time commitment in this online course will be almost exactly the same as for a traditional course. Preparing for and taking the 5 required quizzes should take about 15 total hours over the course of the semester. The 5 writing exercises will take you about 20 total hours. The textbook readings will take you about 20 total hours to complete, and viewing and studying the PowerPoints also about 20 hours. Preparing for and taking the final test will probably take about 8 hours to do it well, and the 2-part major project will require about 30 total hours of work. You're required to submit 5 discussion forum postings throughout the semester, each of which should take you about 2 hours to prepare for and compose. And there are 3 requirements in week 1, each of which you should budget about an hour for. Altogether, these various requirements add up to 126 hours of estimated time commitment, the same as for a traditional classroom course. So online courses aren't meant to be an easy way out at all. They can be more convenient because they allow students some freedom and don't require them to be on campus several days a week, but they're not designed to be easier versions of traditional courses. All courses have goals, and the ones for this course are centered on making each student a better communicator. In this class, you'll learn more about how to organize and develop your writing, develop and refine your writing processes, use source material effectively, recognize the features of academic writing in a variety of disciplines, make arguments, especially in writing, distinguish single disciplinary and interdisciplinary communication, and improve your abilities with oral and visual supplements to your writing. All of these goals will help you to become better writers and communicators. These communication skills are vital for interdisciplinary students, just as they are for all students. After week 1, during which students will get a thorough introduction to the course, there will be 6 units in the course. Unit 1 focuses on the expectations for academic writing across the disciplines. You'll learn more about this later, but each academic discipline has its own standards and expectations for writing in that field. Unit 2 will focus on effective academic reading strategies for texts from across the various academic disciplines and for interdisciplinary texts. In Unit 3, we will look at strategies for argumentation, especially in writing. And in Unit 4, we will cover techniques for using material from outside sources in your own writing. In Unit 5, we'll practice putting all of these skills together, and in Unit 6, you'll do a major project that requires you to write a paper on an interdisciplinary topic and produce a supplemental oral visual presentation on that topic. The final unit will end with a final cumulative test over all material covered during the semester. Now let's talk about the course requirements, the things you will be graded on during the semester. There will be 5 reading quizzes, 5 writing exercises, 1 major project, which is broken into a written paper and an accompanying oral visual presentation, 1 final test, which will be cumulative, 5 required discussion forum postings, and 3 week 1 requirements. Now let's look at each requirement individually. Each of the 5 quizzes, 1 for each of the first 5 units, will cover primarily the readings from the book and the accompanying PowerPoint presentations on Moodle. Each quiz will have a 90-minute time limit and will contain a combination of multiple choice and short essay questions. Each of the 5 writing exercises, again 1 for each of the first 5 units, will give you a chance to practice and demonstrate skills covered in that unit. Each writing exercise will require somewhere between 1 and 3 pages of writing depending on the exercise. You'll do approximately 10 pages total of writing in the 5 writing exercises combined. The major project will require you to write a well-developed paper of approximately 2,000 words on an interdisciplinary topic. This paper will incorporate sources in APA format. You'll also develop a supplemental oral visual presentation, that is a narrated PowerPoint, just like the one you're listening to accompany the paper. To complete the presentation, you will need to have access to a computer with PowerPoint and a microphone that connects to the computer so that you can record your voiceover just as I'm doing now for this PowerPoint. Please see Student Computing Services in Kearns 113 if you have questions about the software or hardware you'll need for this part of the major project. And we'll talk about topics for the major project later in the semester. There will be 5 required discussion forum postings during the semester. For each one, you will respond to questions or writing prompts related to the ideas in the textbook or the PowerPoints. Each forum posting will be graded according to a rubric that you can find on Moodle, and you'll have the opportunity to earn bonus points for particularly well-written forum postings and for engaging other students by commenting on their postings. At minimum, each posting must be on time, relate clearly to the question or prompt, adequately develop your answer, and always follow the guidelines for online decorum. During week 1, there are 3 requirements designed to familiarize you with the course and the Moodle site. You'll take a quiz on Moodle covering the syllabus. You may take it as many times as you wish. You'll also submit a personal introduction on the discussion forum to help other students get to know you. You'll also submit a test assignment to Turnitin to demonstrate that you know how to use the Turnitin system to submit your assignments in the course. Any doc or docx document will work for this assignments. You don't need to write something new. A paper for another class will be just fine. You just need to demonstrate that you know how to use Turnitin. If you submit the personal introduction and the test Turnitin assignment, you'll receive a grade of 100 for each. Be sure to complete all the week 1 assignments so that you'll start off the semester on a good note. And again, you can take the syllabus quiz as many times as you want to before the deadline. During the course, you will need to download and view a number of PowerPoint presentations from the Moodle site. These presentations will cover textbook readings, assignments, and other important topics. There will usually be 1 to 2 per week, and each one will be approximately 25 to 40 minutes in length. Make sure to wear your headphones or have your computer speakers on when you watch the PowerPoints, because most of them will be narrated by the instructor, if not all of them. These PowerPoints will be very important for helping you with ideas from the readings and expectations for assignment, but they are not a substitute for reading textbook chapters and assignment sheets closely. Now let's go over a few important policies. We won't go over all of the policies for the course. You'll have to read the syllabus closely for a complete explanation of all of them, but we'll cover some of the most important ones here. All writing assignments must be turned in to Turnitin in doc or docx format. There will be a deadline for turning in all written assignments, and late penalties of 10 points per day will apply after that deadline. It is your responsibility to make sure that your computer is capable of performing all of the necessary functions for this course. Computer issues are not an excuse for missing assignments. If you have computer issues, please see Student Computing Services in Kearns 113. Visiting the Writing Center for assistance with any writing issue is strongly encouraged. The Writing Center is located in Kearns 205. The Moodle gradebook will normally be updated every week, but it could sometimes take a little longer than that between Moodle gradebook updates. Just as in a traditional classroom course, attendance matters. Okay, attendance matters. Now you may ask, what does attendance mean in an online course? Each missed assignment, quiz, or online posting will count as an absence, and 6 such absences can lead to failure in the course, as stated in the student handbook. Please turn in all assignments and don't risk getting an F in the class simply because you failed to turn some things in. Here's the information about the textbook for the course. The author is Teresa Tunney, and the title of the book is Academic Writing, Concepts and Connections. Each unit in the course is tied to 1 or 2 chapters from the book. The chapters we will read and discuss concentrate on writing and reading in the disciplines, academic argumentation, incorporating research material from secondary sources, and visual rhetoric. You may not know what all of those terms mean now, but we'll cover them in detail during the semester. Quizzes and writing exercises will be based on material covered in the textbook chapter, so please pick up a copy from the textbook, copy of the textbook from the bookstore as soon as possible. I'm more than happy to meet with students outside of class. If you would like to meet with me, you may come to my office in Kearns 102 during my office hours, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. Appointments outside of those office hours can be scheduled too. Sometimes I'm not able to be in my office during scheduled hours, but I always let students know about this as soon as I can. Changes to my office hours will be announced by some combination of email, Moodle assignment, and or a note on the door. Once again, I want to encourage everyone to make use of the Writing Center this semester. I'm the Writing Center coordinator, so of course I'm a great believer in the services we have to offer. The Writing Center is located in Kearns 205, and our open hours are listed here. If you'd like to make an appointment in the Writing Center, you may either come by to make an appointment or call our number, which is 843-349-2937. I strongly recommend that you make an appointment. Walk-ins are accepted, but appointments are strongly preferred. And often if you try to walk in, all of the tutors are working with someone right then, so you have to wait. But if you make an appointment, you'll be able to come at that time. Here's the grading scale for the course. Please remember, though, that you'll need at least a C in the course for it to count towards your IDS degree. A grade of D is not acceptable for this course in an IDS degree program. Most of you will be IDS program students, so keep this in mind. A grade of D will not work in your degree program. You need to get a C or above. As always, if you have any questions, I would encourage you to post that question in the open forum on Moodle, but you may also email me at this address. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to working with each of you during the course.